Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Today's problem is design task manager. We'll try to gonna solve this problem today. This, and then we will gonna see, okay, how to solve these design problems. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit to the subscribe button. And because we are coming with more awesome content around DSA, tech, AI, and many more such thing. We have recently uploaded code forces solution as well. Start uploading. Do check it out that as well. The C problem was interesting yesterday. So link is will in the description. Okay. So yesterday also we solved some one design problem, and this is another design problem came into our way. Design task manager. These are all kind of real life problems that okay you may face, but okay we'll see. Okay, how LeetCode will try to teach us these things. Okay. So what is trying to say is this is a task management system that allows users to manage their tasks, each associated with a priority. The system should efficiently handle adding, modifying, executing, and removing tasks. So basically, what you have to do: add a task, modify a task, execute a task, and remove a task. Basically, CRUD operation you have to do. What is CRUD? Create, read, update, delete. Okay. Implement the task manager class. What you have to do here? Uh, this initialize the task manager with a list of user tasks, right? That okay, you are given with a tuples means vector only, nothing else. User ID, task ID, and priority, which adds a task to a specific user with a given priority. So what we have some users. It's like a database question. It's some users with some task with some priority. Okay, so you have these three things with you. Okay, then you have initial set of tasks that will be initialized with task array. Then what you have to do? You have to add a task. You will be given a user ID, you will be given a task ID, and you will be given a priority. You have to edit a particular task. All these concerns they have given that oh they if you're adding a task, that there won't be an existing task. If you're editing a task, the task you are editing, the task ID does exist. If you're removing a task, the task ID does exist. The important thing is this function you have to implement because above functions are very simple to implement. If you, I'll tell you how. But this thing, okay, execute the task with the highest priority. Okay, somehow that makes an intuition that we have to keep something sorted. So, what data structure that comes to your mind? Do let me know in the comments. If there are multiple tasks with the same highest priority, execute one with the highest task ID. Now, see here there are multiple type of questions can be possible. There they mention if they die then you have to pick the with highest task ID. If they have told lower task ID, then we have to use the same approach that we used in the previous problem yesterday. And it's very interesting. Do check it out. We have used a trick right there. After executing, the task ID is removed from the system. Return the user ID associated with the executive task. If no tasks are available, then return minus. So it's a long descriptive thing. I hope you understood the problem that you are given with task with some priority. You have to execute the task in the priority order. Okay. Okay. What thing that comes to your mind when you're adding the things, deleting the things, and yeah, like what is the most efficient data structure that comes to your mind? What comes to my mind is again map data structure. The map data structure. Right. That comes to my mind. Now we have to think that okay, how to apply this and what maps you need, right? Like if you need only one map, two map, three map. You don't know, right? You have to think about it. Okay. This is fine. Now, what we need to do, what we have a user ID, we have a task ID, and we have a priority. Okay. Priority obviously is not unique. User ID is also not unique. There could be multiple user ID with the same task ID, right? मतलब different type. The primary key, you can say it's a database question that there is a primary key. The task ID is there. Okay. That makes sense. So task ID will be always be unique. That we are particularly sure about. Okay. See, now what we want the tasks to be sorted in the fashion of the priority. But we need the corresponding task ID as well, like, because priority is not, you can say, unique. So what you have to do, you have to maintain a set as well of pair int comma. You can say int. Basically, it's a pair of priority first because we want to sort on the basis of priority first. Then if the priority comes out to be same, I know need to sort with the help of task ID. Task ID. Task ID. Okay. Now you will be asking me, oh, but we want the reverse sorted thing that if the priority is same, I want the task with the maximum task ID. We will see how it is gonna be implemented. Don't worry about that. But you firstly understood the intuition that, okay, because we need the task sorted on the basis of priority and we need a particular task because priority is not unique. So we need a pair. We can do with the help of priority as well. But since the priority is not unique, so we need to have a task ID with that pair will be always be unique. It's a database concept, right? Now what we need to do? Now we have to certain maps also should be there, particularly to a task ID. So from the task ID, I need user ID also because I need to return user ID. So I need to have a map from this map from task to user. One more I need from the given task ID, I need to calculate the priority as well. Why I need the priority? When we are deleting the stuff, it will be helpful. Map from task to priority we need. This is to make the life simple. You can make it more complicated and maybe use less maps, but it's better to simplify the things a bit than to overcomplicate it. That's it, things, right? So, okay, this you have done. So, I think you understood that we have three maps overall. We have three maps. No, sorry, we have I think two maps, sorry, and one set. One set. We have one set for the tasks and two maps for the mapping thing. Okay. Now what we have? We have simple operations. So how will we gonna add it? So adding is simple, right? Just map it your first map. Let's say I'm saying this map to be MP1 and this is MP2. So what you gonna do firstly? You will insert into your set. Insert. So you're gonna do s dot insert whatever you have. What you have, you will given with the priority, and the task ID is TID, right? This is this. Then you have to create the map also, right? From the given task ID MP1, the given task ID, you have the user ID. Okay, because I want to fetch the user ID by given the task ID. Similarly, MP2, given the task ID, I want to fetch the priority, right? So these two things are done. Okay. Very important to understand you are making the key as task ID because task ID is unique. They also already mentioned a user can have multiple tasks. So the user ID could be repeated in a particular array, right? So when you are adding, so that's very, very important to make the task ID as the key for the map. Fine. This is fine. Then what we need to do? What we need to do? This is done. This is done. We have added a task successfully, right? Now what we let's say we want to edit the task. Okay, cool. Now, for editing the task, I will be only given with, I just don't need to change the priority. I cannot change the user ID of that task. So I would be given with task ID and I would be given with what? Priority, new priority. Now what I will do, I will firstly fetch the what I need to if I need to somehow erase the previous thing, right? So I need to get the old priority. How will I get from this map? MP2. So basically we'll get old priority from MP2 using the task ID. That's why we created the map, right? Because we need to remove things as well. So we have to remove this. Now we got the OP is remove. How would you remove? It's very simple. S dot erase this thing, right? You what the both the things you have. You have the particular task ID. You have the remove old priority as well. You can remove that as well. And then insert new priority, comma task ID pair. So edit is also simple, right? Cool. Now what comes next? Now comes next is remove. So remove is also simple. The first step is simple. That you will be given with only task ID, right? So firstly, what you gonna do? You firstly fetch the priority from that priority from your map. Then what you gonna do? Erase from set. Now we have to do two more erases, right? erase from MP1 because this task ID is now being deleted. MP1 erase from MP2 as well. Okay, these two things you have to do: erase from MP1, erase from MP2, because this task ID no more exists. So firstly fetch the priority, erase from set, and from MP1 MP2 just you need just a task ID. So that's very simple. Then what you're gonna do? Adding you have done, removing you have done, edit you have done. Then what is left? The execute topic. Execute that. You tell me that how can we implement this? Now it's very simple, right? We have already have created a map that is storing the things in a sorted order, and I hope you remember that using the map, how can you get fetch the largest thing? You can use the r begin thing, right? So what you can do, you can say s dot r begin. This will be the largest task with the largest task ID, and not task ID, priority. And if the priority are same, it will pick the largest task ID because it will be the reverse sorted thing, right? It will be sorted firstly basis on the priority, then the basis of the task ID, and then it will match. It will go on. We're going like this from back behind. We are going. So r dot r begin. What we're gonna do? We just need the second thing, we need the user ID. Firstly, what we need a task ID. So let's say firstly calculate the user ID from here. No, sorry, task ID. Sorry, task ID from here. You got the task ID from here. Then what you can do? You can get the user ID from the task ID. So MP1 task ID. Then what you wanna do? Remove, remove this task because we need to remove this task as well. And then return this user ID. It's very simple, right? We just used a map. We thought about it. Why we use set? Because this operation, because the r begin thing can directly give you the task with the highest priority, and if they're same also, then it will always give you with the highest task ID, right? That's why I use map and set combo of that. It's a pretty, not very, I won't say very easy, but it's an easy problem if you think about it, if you know basic knowledge of maps. Let's quickly move to the code to see the implementation. We can see some example as well quickly. So what we have initially 101. So basically we have one. This is firstly it gives user ID, then task ID, then priority. So 101, then 2, 102, 20, 3, 103, 15, and 4, 104, 5. Okay. Then what it says? It says that, yeah, sorry, the only three things is there. Then it says to me, add to me. So our, yeah, it will be added. So you can say it will be added. This will be our new thing. This add we have implemented. Then it say edit. So edit, it says to 10 task, change the priority to be 8. So the priority is changed to be 8. Okay. Then it say execute top. So what will be the executed top? Oh, this is the highest priority, right? So we'll be executing 3 from here. So we executed 3 and we have to remove this. Okay. We have to remove this as well. Then what it says remove. What do you want to remove? Uh, this executed top is happened, then we have to remove the 101 task ID. So 101 task ID we have to remove. Okay, we have removed the 101 task ID. Then it's a add. So add this thing 5, 105, 15. Okay. Then it's a execute top again. This is the latest top, right? The 5 we have to return. So it's pretty simple. It's not very difficult. So we have solved the problem. Now let's quickly move to the code. So what we have made, actually to make it more simpler, I made name the maps very easily to you, you can understand. Task to the user, that you have the task ID, you can get the user ID. Then you have the task to priority, you have the task ID, you can get the priority and the set of tasks. Okay, the map or the set of that. So what do you do? Firstly fetch out the user ID, task ID and priority from the tuples. Then insert the priority comma task ID pair, task ID of task ID, task to user of task ID is equals to user ID, just creating the maps, right? From user task to priority, task ID new priority. Similarly, adding things, what you gonna do? Add, insert, priority, comma task ID, and you just fill out the map value as well. Only this thing, this operation, same operation you are doing, right? You're given with this these three things. Now, in edit is very important to get to remove, firstly you have to remove the previous thing, previous you have added in the task, right? So firstly what you're gonna do is get the old priority from the task to priority thing and erase that, then insert the new thing, right? Now you will ask me, oh, you can use directly the remove thing. No, no, no. Remove thing we won't use because we don't want to remove the user. We don't want to remove the entire task. But task is there, we just need to edit it. Okay. So yeah. Then remove the task. So I would say firstly calculate the priority. Then what you're gonna do? Remove the task from the task set. Then remove it from the task to priority area as well and remove from the task to user. It won't make much sense. Means it like it won't make very difficulty because it will overwrite it, but it's better, always better to write this. It's better. Okay. And then execute top. Firstly, we'll check the size. If it is 0, then we'll return -1. Elsewise, firstly, fetch this the task ID of the person with the highest priority. Highest priority, same highest task ID, which is this. This directly will give us this. That's a use case of the set. And then we can use a user ID and then remove the task ID. You like directly use the function user task ID and then return the user ID corresponding to the task ID. Right. So I hope you understood the solution. And if you like the solution, make sure hit the subscribe to the channel and make sure hit to the like button because keeps me motivated to make more such content for you guys. And stay tuned for the further updates. I will be coming with more and more such awesome and questions. Cool. See you guys.